My name is Tom Approbato, and I'd like to tell you a story. Actually, I'll tell you a couple stories, but we're going to start this way. Welcome to my 5th annual Pauling Lake storytelling event. This one's entitled The Day the Earth Stood Still. Thank you for some of you who provided me some very positive feedback over here on what I should choose for the name of this event and what the topic should be. So this is kind of going to have a little bit of a sci-fi, fantasy theme feel to it. So to make it more appropriate for some of the sci-fi fantasies theme, I knew I had to do something a little bit different. So instead of a normal spring storytelling event, I had to do a couple of different things, and so I needed a little help in order to do this event. So I found some. Oops. Let me just... State
your name, rank, and intention. The doctor.
Well, let's start this over so we can see, so you can see it, not through my back. Okay? So, as I said, I need a little help in order to try and do this.
You don't seriously think that this egotistical, maniacal son of a bitch is going to choose anyone but himself to help him in his storytelling event, do you? My name is Tom Approbato. I am the alternate Tom Approbato, or the alternate Tom Approbato, and I'm going to be helping that Tom Approbato tell these stories. I hope you're ready for this. Don't know if I am.
Well, we'll see. We're going to do a little tandem work over here together. So Tom and Tom, the negative Tom.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Tom.
Hi Tom, how are you? Looking forward to working with you today.
Thank you, Tom. I'm very happy to be here working with you tonight. Looking forward to it.
Good. I think we're going to work well. It'll be fine.
As well, you should be looking forward to working with me. I do appreciate that, too.
Okay. I'd like to start maybe with the first story.
Would you like me to take the first story?
No, I'd like to take the first story, if you don't mind.
Okay. All right, well, I do mind, but I'll figure out something to do with myself while you're busy babbling over there doing whatever. I'll just sit here being bored.
Lovely. Thank you, Tom. So, while Tom is patiently waiting, this Tom is going to tell you a story. And the name of this story is called Escape from New York. Now, Escape from New York is something very meaningful for me because this is really about my entire life. My entire life as a child, always feeling a little bit different, a little bit alienated from friends and even from family, a little bit feeling more like an alien, as the case would be. So I kind of saw myself as, even at the early stages of 3 and 4 years old, as soon as I could speak, I saw myself as an alien, waiting. I knew that one day, absolutely certain beyond a shadow of a doubt, my true family was going to come back in their spaceship. They were going to land, and they were going to take me home with them, and we were going to have a wonderful new life together, and everything was going to be great, and everything was going to be absolutely incredible. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but yet being the operative word. But what I do have, and what I can say, is that I had a couple of very interesting stories, little alien stories happening when I was very young. In Brooklyn, where I grew up, we were in a city of, a few million people, kind of very much on top of each other. But my parents had bought a little house in the outskirts of Bensonhurst. And we had a very large, it was called a double lot. And our backyard was completely enclosed and private. We were right next to an apartment building which had these massive, incredible old vines growing on the side of it that you could pull and swing on those vines. We played Tarzan many times. But it was really, really fascinating, really very interesting just to see it happen. Because those vines took on a whole alien landscape. So we saw ourselves as something, someplace completely and totally different. I know, this one's going to be trouble, trust me. So, my parents used to let us camp in the backyard. So, what better place to be? Put the kids out in the backyard in a tent, let them stay there and do their own thing, and it was just great. It was fine. They could just ignore us. So, there was one time, though, that my brothers, my brother Ed and I, Ed's my older brother, so he and I and two other friends of ours were sleeping in a tent in the backyard. Now, this is, I'd say, maybe August, September, so it was still nice and warm and comfortable, but we like to be outside. And from our little enclosed area in our yard, it looked as if it was its own world. Because we had a fence, we had wall, we had vines, and we had a shed that blocked out the neighbors. So it got to be its own little place and its own little world. Well, kids drink a lot of soda when they're young. And eventually, regardless of your age, you're going to have to go to the bathroom. So I got up to go to the bathroom with my brother and his friend. They're all still up. We're still BSing. It probably wasn't more than 10 o'clock at night. And I stepped outside and I wandered over to one of the bushes because I wasn't going all the way 50 feet to walk back in the house to use the bathroom inside the house. Not when you're a young boy and you can go on a bush just as easy. So I went outside, and as I'm watering the plants, I'm looking up at the sky because from where we were, we had a beautiful view of the night sky. And as I'm looking up, I could see a round object with red lights on it, slowly making its way over. Now, this was not an airplane. This was not an airplane. This was not a balloon. It was too round, it was too big, and it was silently hovering over past us. I ran to get my brothers, well, I zipped up first, but I ran to get my brother and his friends and said, listen, there's a UFO up there, you've got to look, because, you know, I'm excited because I'm going home. I'm going home, I'm ready. That's the excitement for me. It's like, look guys, I'm out of here. And my brother goes and sticks his head out, looks up. Now, of course, what I'm seeing is over here. So he looks straight up and says, there's nothing there, you asshole. You know, it's only a 7-year-old can give you. And goes back in. And I stared and I watched it go as it disappeared. And it slowly floated away. And the funny thing is, New York, 1970s, feel free, go look them up. How many UFO sightings took place over New York City as identified by police officers, city council members, doctors, lawyers, who witnessed something that, we don't know exactly what it was, but they saw it, and I saw it. And the difference was between us, I knew they were looking for me. They just hadn't found me. They just hadn't found me yet. So, but I was working at it. Don't pay him any mind. But that never took place, not then. Another time though, I had a good friend of mine, Anthony Valentine, and he and I used to hang out, and I'd go over to sleepovers at his house. And we just did the typical kid thing. We'd hang out, we'd stay up all night, wait till the parents went to sleep, and then get yourself wired on sugar, and then stay up till as late as you possibly can, and try and scare the shit out of each other with as many ghost stories or fantasy stories or anything else you could come up with. But what I kept pushing to him was, I said, Anthony, I'm really an alien from outer space. They're going to come for me one day. gonna take me home, and it might be tonight. So you add that fun and excitement to everything else, and you've got people that are sitting there going, you know, you've got people that are actually sitting there saying, maybe he's serious about this. Maybe he could, especially if you get another 7 or 8-year-old involved. You can really, really egg them on. Except the thing was, I believed it. And I was ready. Now, one of these nights, we're there, and we're full of sugar, so no one's going to bed anytime soon. And we're having this conversation. And I said, you know, I'm serious. They're going to come for me one day. The lights are going to come down, they're going to take me home, and I'm going to go back with my real family. So Anthony was a bit of he was a simple guy. We use that for a good joke. Simple enough, anyway. But he looked at me and said, I really don't know if this is going to happen, but can you imagine? My favorite word as a kid growing up, imagine. And that was the thing, was I could imagine this happening. I could imagine leaving. I could imagine that ship coming down. Well, we stayed up, and we were watching the sky from the fire escape. Because, again, 1970s, Brooklyn, oh, the kids are on the fire escape. They're fine. Because it's not like it would be considered any, possible hazard these days, They're right on the fire escape. You see them. All right, I'm going to bed. They'll come in when they're ready. Don't worry about it. And on this night, even in the bright lights of New York City and the bright lights of Brooklyn, we could watch the shooting stars come out. And one of them, one after another. And I kept waiting, and I kept looking, and I kept saying, maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the next one. Didn't happen. Yet. But I had hope. And I had dreams, and I had thoughts, and I said, this can very well happen. One day, to me, this is going to happen. Now I live up here. I'm not a New York City boy anymore. I'm living up in the sticks. I've got people that live up here that go, you live in the sticks. I'm in the boondocks. I'm up on a mountain in the woods, surrounded in the dark, but the incredible views. The sky at night, and I'll tell you what now, how many times I have gone, and how many times I've walked my dogs late at night, and I've looked out at the sky, and I have seen some amazing lights. I've seen what are definitely satellites, crossing in a very beautiful, orderly path, watching them tumble, watching them reflect, and it's the most amazing thing because they brighten up as they pass, but you can tell this is a satellite. And it just amazes me that we can see it just with our bare eyes. And I look and I say, this is incredible. But then again, I've seen a couple of other strange things. I've seen lights that are not airplanes. I've seen things that are not satellites. I've seen things that are flying way up high that I'm saying, oh, it's another satellite that I'm able to see up here. Isn't that beautiful? And then I watch it turn off. The Hudson Valley, the Harlem Valley, is known for its many different little UFO encounters. So, the way I'm thinking of it now is my real family's getting closer. Any day now, I had to get a little higher elevation maybe to get them to be there to see me, to get me ready, to take me home. Because what good is being an alien? What good is being alienated if you can't still hold out that hope that one day they're going to be back for you, take you home to where you belong, to where you need to be? Until then, I'm happy to be where I am. I'm happy to be with my friends. I'm happy to be with my dogs. And I've got a damn good life. but they're coming. I know they're coming. And they're going to be here before you know it to take me home. So if I don't get to see you and say goodbye before then, I want you to know it's been great, but it's going to happen one day. Thank you. It's not an easy thing to tell people that you're such an alien, but, you know, it's okay, and it does work out that way. Listen, one shouldn't drink and, you know, do this at the same time. So. Oh, sorry?
That's it for you people? That's it for the applause?
Oh, did we not pay attention?
That was a decent story, Tom. A nice introduction, a good flashback, a nice reminiscent of our youthful days and our childhood growing up. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, another round of applause for Tom.